This Pop-Tart movie has to be talked about. And I don't want to do it because I actually really like Jerry Seinfeld. I think he's a great stand-up comedian. I think he's got a nice family. I love Jim Gaffigan and Bill Burr. I think these are the greatest living comedians. They're legends. I love everyone else in the film, Kyle Dunnigan, whoever. I'm telling you right now, I was in my business manager's office the other day, and this lovely woman, I brought up the movie, and this lovely woman who's slightly brain dead, but that's okay. She goes, I said, did you see this? And she goes, yeah, it was good. Because that's all they're allowed to say in Los Angeles. Someone goes, yes, it was good. And she smiles. And I go, yeah, but it was for like kids though. And she goes, yeah, for kids. Like they just agree. So this film, which I believe is fictional, other than the fact that the Pop-Tart does exist and was invented, is about the Pop-Tart. It's about the creation of the Pop-Tart. And it's about how that changed breakfast for millions of American children. Can we talk about another layer of this that's just odd? It's just the timing is weird. During the marketing of this movie, and this is no one's fault, it's just the timing. I am watching in Gaza on my phone children be pulled out of rubble. And then I'm seeing an ad for the breakfast movie on Netflix where Jerry Seinfeld's talking about how Pop-Tarts changed the game for millions of American children. And I'm like, wouldn't any of these kids in Gaza like a Pop-Tart? Would any of them like a Pop-Tart? What's the breakfast they're eating right now? It's just it's unfortunate timing is what it is, you know? And I'm watching this movie, and this whole thing about children and breakfast and this being like this massive, it may be when you have $1 billion, which I believe he has, the things that interest and fascinate you maybe are not the things that are relatable to other people. The fact that they made a movie about this, the fact that this was interesting enough to him. Think of everything in the world. Think of all the things that have ever happened in the world. Just think about it. Let's go with it. I don't know where you are. Maybe you're jogging, driving to work, whatever the case may be. Just think about everything that's ever happened in this world of ours. Every invention, innovation, advancement, achievement, conspiracy, question, anything you would ponder at night, something you would think about as a kid when you were camping laying there in the tent going, what's the deal with this world we're in? All of those things. Now you have $1 billion and you're going to make a movie. Is the invention of the Pop-Tart worthy of making an entire and putting every comedian that's ever lived in this movie about the making of the Pop-Tart and how it changed people's lives? Can you look up what year the Pop-Tart was invented?
I think it was 1964, but yeah, I'll find it officially.
It's a nice family film, meaning you can watch it with your family and nothing's offensive, but the kids are going to leave the room. You can watch it with your kids. So, Smithsonian Magazine, in 1964, Kellogg's changed breakfast forever by introducing Pop-Tarts to the world. Was this such a big deal? Am I nuts? Was this like the biggest event in the world? We weren't really allowed to have like Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Even my white trash boomer parents wouldn't really let you have Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Were there like millions of kids? I mean, I guess I don't get it. This is like if I made a movie about the invention of the yodel and I had $1 billion, and I made a movie about the invention of the yodel, and I put every comedian in the world in this movie about the yodel being made, and I was like, in the 1990s, like this would be the trailer, you know, in the 1990s, there was a snack cake invented that changed the world, the yodel. And people would go, Tim Dillon's lost his fucking mind. He's out of his mind now. That guy used to talk about things that had some value, and now he's lost his mind. When were yodels invented, by the way? I don't know when they were invented. Can I make that movie? Should I have turned around to the CEO of Netflix in the elevator and went, how about the next one? It's about the yodel, and I do it. Can I do one about the yodel? I should have gotten right in his face. Can I do a movie about the yodel? I want to do a movie about the yodel. Oh, they were introduced in 1962. So every invention is every movie about any of these things is and bell bottoms. How about Shake Shack? I want to do a movie about Shake Shack. How Danny Meyer decided to put the burger on the potato bun. And I'll just sit there in Madison Square Park and I'll be like, in 2009, there was an invention called Shake Shack that allowed this fat country to get even fatter. And I have every comedian in the world is in this movie. And they all do a fine job. I'm not going at any of the comedians here. It's just the movie, the jokes aren't really funny. The premise is insane. I don't understand. And I'm not trying to be negative about it. It's just crazy. You have Hugh Grant playing Tony the Tiger. Here's what's also funny about this. This is what unleashed decades of obesity in this country. Decades of cancerous sugar addiction. And they kind of goof about it, but it's not ever treated as it should be. Like the invention of the nuclear weapon, the Pop-Tart. Like, marketing sugar to children the way we did was like probably one of the darkest things we've had. The whole movie should start where it's just legless fat people in hospitals. And it should have been a documentary, and Jerry Seinfeld should go up to a guy who's got one leg, and the stench of the room is making Seinfeld almost vomit because, you know, you can get gangrene when they cut off a leg. And Seinfeld is standing in this room, and he says to the nurse, he's like, is there anything we can do about the smell? And he's just interviewing this man whose leg has been cut off, and he goes, what happened to you? And the guy starts by saying, I was raised on Pop-Tarts, and I got diabetes, and they had to saw off my leg. See, that's the real movie that should have been made. Jerry Seinfeld should go interview morbidly obese, bedridden people whose sugar has ruined their entire lives. And he should have to stand there and try to have humanity with them. Like when someone's laying in the hospital bed and they go, am I going to die? And he goes, I don't know. Jerry Seinfeld should have to hold the hand of someone who's dying. That's what this film should be. This goofy film where it's like snap, crackle, and pop. You got everybody playing. I'm just saying. Ted, it's like, who is this idiot? Who is this fat idiot? Get him out of the elevator. Ted, I want to do one about the yodel. It's called swirly cream, swirly frosting. And it's about the yodel. No, I want to make a film about the yodel. And I want to have Louis C.K. play the yodel king or whatever the f***. No one can say no to any of these people at this amount of work. No, Jerry Seinfeld could have pitched anything. It was just yes. There's nothing he could have said that they would not have said yes to, by the way. He could have said anything. He could have been like the stapler. I want to do a movie about the stapler. And they all went, well, oh, yes. He goes, because it's funny. You get in accidents. You ever get a staple in your palm? They go, yes. It's yes, whatever you want. I just want to get to that point in my career where I could just come in and say something and say, this is how the meeting should have went with Seinfeld. Tell me you want to do a movie about the creation of the Pop-Tart.
Let's do a movie. I want to do a movie about the creation of the Pop-Tart.
No.
But I really like Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, no, that's all. That's all right. That should have been it. It should have just been no. No. That should have been no. Should have been no. Nope, move on. That's all. That's all. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Why? Because it seems like it'll be really stupid. I'm the CEO. Seems like it'll be dumb. Oh, wait, Amy Schumer plays Marjorie Post. No. Still no.